Hey, welcome back to Play and Trade Guitars. I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars, where we play it and trade it. We're looking at the pinnacle of Gibson today, the flagship Les Paul Standard. Today, the Les Paul Standard 50s with a little bit thicker neck profile, those Burstbucker 1 and 2 pickups. I'll tell you everything you need to know about this guitar. We're gonna put it on the bench and pull it apart, and then of course, we're gonna plug it in and play it. At the top, if you're in the market for a Les Paul or any other gear, click to buy new gear using our link. It helps us make these demos when you buy any new gear using our link. And in the States, you're gonna get fast free shipping and easy payment plans. It makes buying new gears, especially a Les Paul, super easy. You'll find all that down below when you use our link. We're also giving away an American-made Martin acoustic guitar when we hit 100,000 subscribers. To win that guitar, just make sure you're subscribed. Hit subscribe right now if you haven't. Turn on notifications and sign up via Gleam. Everything you need to know, once again, is down below. All right, without further ado, let me tell you all about the Les Paul Standard 50s. What a beautiful guitar. At the end, I'll give you the performance demos, my raw reaction, and a final score, so let's get to work. All right, the standard of standards. This one in Heritage Cherry Sunburst, beautiful gloss nitro finish. This is made in the USA, the Nashville, Tennessee Gibson USA plant. Check out our factory tour on that. And like I said, this is the pinnacle of Gibson USA, the Les Paul Standard 50s. It's gonna have that thicker 50s profile neck, Burstbucker 1 and 2 pickups. You could upgrade this to a AAA flamed maple top at $29.99. This is currently priced at $27.99. You can click our link to see the current pricing, all the finish availability options, all that. So we're gonna hit the bench and get some full specs and measurements before we plug it in. But just a gorgeous Les Paul Standard, and can't wait to plug it in. All right, let's start up at the top of the headstock and talk about what makes the Les Paul Standard the Les Paul Standard. First, you got this beautiful mother of pearl Gibson inlay, standard on a truss rod, Les Paul model screened in gold. Flipping it over on the 50s Standard, you're gonna have these Clusen style Gibson Deluxe tuners, vintage look. I love the aesthetic on those. And then the hallmark of the 50s Standard, you're gonna have this chunkier 50s profile neck. If you prefer a slim, you can look at the Les Paul Standard 60s, but this one is gonna have that thicker neck profile. And the standards will have full binding on both the fretboard, the body as well. You can see a beautiful rosewood fretboard here with the acrylic trapezoid inlays. Coming down to the body, you're gonna have the traditional pairing of the mahogany body with a carved maple top. And there's different degrees of maple figuring going on with these too. And the cool thing is, I mean, they really are like a fingerprint. Every single one of them is unique. And that's one of the coolest things about guitars in general, but particularly with a Les Paul, that pairing is just so gorgeous. You have a full gloss nitro finish on the Standard. And here you've got just the standard Les Paul controls, volume, volume, tone, tone. And the pickups here are going to be Alnico 2 Burstbucker 1 and 2 set versus the Alnico 5 61 Burstbuckers. Actually, those are some of my favorite humbuckers, to tell you the truth. Those are on the Les Paul Standard 60s, but these sound fantastic too, so you get to hear that when we plug it in. Let's get the strings out of the way and get some measurements. This nut's coming in at 1.7 inches. Got a reading on that chunkier neck. First fret at 0.87 inches, up to a 12th fret of 0.98 inches. Body thickness, 2.01 inches. Let's flip over these humbuckers. We got a Burstbucker 2 in bridge position. These are PAF, or patent applied for style humbuckers. And then a Burstbucker 1 in neck position. You can actually see the thickness of the maple cap too when you get a shot from this angle. Let's flip on the multimeter, get a reading on these humbuckers. We're at 7.9 in bridge, 7.5 in neck, 3.8 combined. Lifting up the control cavity cover, you can see these Gibson 500K pots, orange drop capacitors, nice upgrade. It's actually modern wiring in here as opposed to 50s. You think it might be, but all modern in here, all hand wired, all quality stuff. All right, let's get a weight. 9 pounds, 13 ounces. Wow, we'll call it 9.8 pounds. A little bit on the heavier side. I like a Les Paul, anywhere from 8.5 to maybe a little over 9 pounds. But yeah, they can push 10, 11 pounds easily. And then flipping the guitar around, first thing you feel obviously that thicker neck, that nitro gloss finish feels nice in the hands. Great ring to the guitar unplugged. Beautiful guitar. Gibson has that 24 3/4 inch scale length, so it's a little bit shorter than a Fender actually. And it's just real comfortable to play. And nothing like a Les Paul. I mean, let's just face it, there's nothing like the real deal, and I love it. I'm about to plug it in. Remember, if you're in the market for this guitar or any other gear, do us a huge favor, click to buy new gear using our link. It's how we make these demos, and you get great benefits. If you're buying a Gibson, you can get no interest payment plans to spread this out anywhere from 12 to 18 months. It makes it super easy to buy gear, and you get fast free shipping too. It's all great, it's down below. And Thomann, you can check out our link too if you're in Europe. All right, let's get plugged in. I'm gonna show you clean tones. We'll dirty it up. We'll let these Burstbucker 1 and 2 humbuckers scream, get the total deal. On the other side of the playing demos, I'll give you my raw, honest reaction to playing this guitar along with a final score. So stay tuned, drop a comment as we go, and let's get to work. right, the Les Paul Standard 50s. There's nothing like the real thing. And I'll tell you, when it comes to what Gibson USA is doing these days, I'm so impressed with all the guitars that are coming out of Gibson, and nothing is like the real thing. I know a lot of people are comparing other guitars from other brands and saying, I can get this guitar for less. And my experience with Gibson is when they make one that rolls out of the factory that feels this good and looks this good, there is just nothing like the real thing. And I'll tell you, it makes it really easy. If you're in the market for this guitar, you can use our link and get the payment plans. But to have something made in the USA from Gibson USA in Nashville and just feel this good and look and sound this good, I'm just really impressed. You stuck with me to the end, so I'm going to give you my final score. I base it on 3 overall categories: playability, sound, and value. When it comes to playability, the main feature here to be aware of is just the thicker 50s profile neck. It's chunkier, it sits in the hand real nice. If you prefer slim, you can check out our demo on the Les Paul Standard 60s. But nothing in terms of this guitar's construction got in my way. The gloss nitro finish feels really good in the hands. Beautiful piece of rosewood here. So from a playability standpoint, I got nothing to argue with. This is a perfectly executed Les Paul Standard, the way a Les Paul should feel, play, and sound. From playability, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.2 on overall playability. When it comes to sound, the Burstbucker 1 and 2 humbuckers have Alnico 2 pickups, very much vintage voiced, a little bit more highs to my ear. I will tell you honestly that I prefer the Alnico 5 Burstbucker 61s, which you'll find in the 60 standard. That said, this still to me sounds like just a classic set of humbuckers. The sound, in terms of what I'm getting from the overall instrument, I'm going to go ahead and give an 8.8 on overall sound. And then when it comes to value, you can find a Les Paul Standard 50s ranging in price from about $2,300 currently up to about $3,000 currently. The main differences there are going to be finishes. Something on the lower end is going to be the same guitar but with a satin nitro finish. It takes less production hours to do a satin finish, so it saves you some money. The faded series is really worth checking out. On the high end, if you want to deck this out with a AAA flamed maple figured top, beautiful looking guitar, you can check that out below. That's going to run $29.99 currently. And then this, the standard that you're looking at in this beautiful Heritage Cherry Sunburst, $27.99. That also includes the custom color collection. So from a value standpoint, what I like is that they're giving you a lot of options. You can even drop $200, save $200 and get the gold top with P90s, or you can save $200 and get a plain top or solid metallic colored top, which looks fantastic too. Same guitar, just a matter of finishes, and save you some money. So from the value, because they're giving you all the options here, because they're giving you, the made in America quality and construction of a Gibson, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.0 on overall value. There's lots of options, and there's definitely a Les Paul for you. Remember, if you're in the market for this guitar or any other gear, click to buy that new gear using our link. The final score for the Les Paul Standard 50 is this one right here, 9.0. Great guitar from Gibson USA. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed. We're giving away an American-made Martin acoustic guitar when we hit 100,000 subscribers. Check out the other demos across our channel on Gibson, Epiphone, you name it. It's all there. I'm John, that's Zach, for Play and Trade Guitars. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out.